Good evening, all. Today, we are honored to be the part of this program on behalf of the English Club activity of Srkgvmhss Gurukula Vidya Mandiram. I am very glad to introduce the chief guest of this program, Dr. Saumya P. Susheel, the English teacher of NSS Higher Secondary School of Mullurkara, to talk about the famous Japanese story of Totto-Chan, written by Tetsuko Kuroyanagi. I know now all of you are eagerly waiting for her talk. So to begin the program, let me invite Vaidhav Achayan of class 9A to deliver the welcome speech.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. I am Vaidhav Achayan from 9A. Today, we are really blessed to be here for an important program in connection with the English Club. We are very fortunate to have Dr. Saumya P. Susheel, English teacher of NSS Higher Secondary School, Mullurkara, to speak about the well-known story of Totto-Chan. So I warmly welcome Saumya teacher to this program. I welcome all English Club members who are eagerly waiting to watch this program. I also welcome all English teachers who are present in this program. Once again, I welcome one and all present in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaidhav. Now I invite Swami teacher to give us a talk on the famous story of Totto-Chan.
Thank you, Brenda teacher, and thank you, Vaibhav, for such a heartwarming welcome. Let me first of all thank Srkgvmhss. It's so long, the English Club, for inviting me to this program. And before I begin about Totto-Chan, let me just introduce myself. As you all know, I'm an English teacher at NSS Mullurkara. And for the little ones here, let me also tell you that besides being a teacher, I am a mother of two. Those two are now grown-ups. But when they are little kids, they loved to hear, or I read aloud the story of Totto-Chan for them. So when they were grown-ups, I think I was so in love with the book that I began to read the book to my students. So the statutory warning is that when I talk about books, I go on talking. And if I'm talking about Totto-Chan, I can go on and on and on. So whenever you want to interrupt, or whenever you feel that the time is, I'm taking too much of your time, you can surely interrupt. Okay, so that was the warning that I would like to give in the beginning itself. So before going to Totto-Chan, just let me tell you something else also. See, I don't know whether I could use that word or not, but I was actually tempted and cornered by your Sunita teacher to talk about Totto-Chan. If it was about any other book, I don't know whether I'll be, because I am sort of a, you can say, I don't know whether it's shy is proper or not, but I avoid public speaking as much as possible. But this was a temptation that I couldn't resist because it was about Totto-Chan. Before I go to the text, I think most of you have, maybe at least some of you have, you might have read Totto-Chan. Have any one of you read Totto-Chan in Malayalam or in English? Any one of you familiar with Totto-Chan?
Yes.
Yes, Anuj.
I have read this book.
Very good. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yes. Which part did you like the most, Anuj? Can I ask that? Which
the missing of dog Rocky.
Missing of dog Rocky. Yes, yes. Okay. I love Rocky too. I love Totto-Chan and I love Rocky too. Okay, thank you, Anuj. So here is another one who is really in love with Totto-Chan. So do you know anything about Tetsuko Kuroyanagi, the author of Totto-Chan? No, we will come to that later. But before that, just let me ask my little friends, how will you feel when you are told that you are expelled from your school? When it's just asking you little ones how you or your mother will feel if you get the news that you are being expelled from a school. Any reaction to that? See, as a
She will
mother,
be rude, I think.
yes, Anuj,
She will be rude.
she'll be rude. Most probably, maybe not rude. I think Anuj, she'll be very sad. She'll be so much worried about what will happen to your schooling days, isn't it?
Yes, she will also
So
worry.
when you go to the book first, I was flabbergasted. I was astonished that the story begins with this little incident of Totto-Chan being expelled from her first grade. So the teacher calls her. I think if I can screen share, I'll just tell you the incident, because it in the teacher's own words, we can see how Totto-Chan is. And I forgot to tell you one thing. We have a subtitle for Totto-Chan also. Totto-Chan, what is the subtitle? Do you know?
Janalakarigil.
Yes, Janalakarigile Vigrudikutti, the little girl at the window, right? So that was the translation in Malayalam. So in English, we have the little girl at the window. Why it's the little girl at the window? Because when she was in her first grade, she was to come to the school. And the teacher in her school began to give her a long list of complaints that she had about Totto-Chan. The first one was, see, Totto-Chan had in their school in Japan, they have a little desk and a little chair, all of their own. So this desk was totally different from the desk that she had at home. She can open the lid upwards and then put it downwards. So this was something that she hadn't seen at her home. There she had drawers which she had to pull out. So the first complaint of the teacher was that when she began to teach something, she had instructed her class to open the desk only if necessary, only if they have to put something in, or only if they have to take something out. So what Totto-Chan did was, when the teacher asked them to write the alphabets, she opened the lid, took the notebook out, with the third, put the lid down. And then she opened the lid again, put the pencil out, with the third again, put the lid down. So this was going on and on. First the notebook, then the pencil, then she found that she had written the alphabet wrong, so then the eraser, and gone. So Toto's mother understood the plight of the teacher. So she immediately noted that she will talk to Totto-Chan about this. But the teacher, this was not going to be a period or a full stop. The teacher went on listing other complaints also. So the second one was that she wouldn't sit there. She was assigned a seat, but little Toto didn't understand why she should sit at an assigned seat always. So she went near the window. And if she went near the window, it was okay with the teacher. But when she went near the window, she looked out of the window and she could see that musicians, you all know the people who do circus in the street, they were going by the side of the road. That the road was very near to the school. So when the musicians went by the school, usually they went very silently. But when this little girl saw them with their drum, with their clarinets, she was so happy. She called them, please come, please come. So you can imagine how the circus people will be so happy because a little one is calling them towards the window. And the mother, she was listening to the teacher, and she again noted that she would have to talk to Totto-Chan about this. But this was not the end. The teacher continued. When the circus people came near the window, she asked them, could you please play for us? So this was a little one asking them. Immediately they began to play the drum, the clarinets, and what will happen in the classroom? Every other little ones rushed to the window and they all enjoyed this. The poor teacher, she couldn't do anything till all this was over. So when mother listened to her and thought that maybe she could talk to Totto-Chan about this also, the teacher continued, this was not all. So what comes next? The next thing was that when the circus people left, still Totto-Chan loved to be at the window. And then when the teacher observed her, she could see that she was talking to someone. Hey, what are you doing? So teacher tried to ignore her. But 1 or 2 minutes later, she was again asking, hey, hello, what are you doing there? So the teacher went near her, looked out to where she was looking, and what did she see? 2 swallows were making nest. So Totto-Chan was talking to these swallows. Do you know what a swallow is? Have you heard about swallows? Swallows?
No.
Yes, Gopikrishnan?
No, teacher.
No. Swallows are little birds. കുരുവികൾ നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയുന്നത്. So she was talking to these swallows. So poor mother, she almost sighed relief and she thought that this might be over. Then the teacher comes with another list. Totto-Chan was, all the students were instructed to draw a flag. So Totto-Chan wanted this flag to be so huge that the flag went outside the paper to the desk, and it was a national flag of Japan. Totto-Chan felt that yellow color will make it more beautiful. So she began to draw the border with yellow crayons. So the crayons was all over the desk, and the teacher told that at least it was only on the 3 sides, and however much hard I tried to rub it off, it's not easy to rub off crayons. So this is the little girl at the window. That is why the title is Totto-Chan, the little girl at the window. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this book actually written by Totto-Chan, it's Tetsuko Kuroyanagi's pet name. So this was written in 1981 and it was translated to English in 1984 by Dorothy Britton. It was an instant bestseller. Now, I just wanted to tell you about, I'll just narrate only those little incidents that attracted me the most. But when you go through the book, you will find more and more incidents which you will find fun, I'm sure. So this was what I told you about the teacher and the mother conversation. See, she knew that the old school won't admit Totto-Chan. They are, in their own words, they are fed up with this little girl. So she is not only disturbing this class, but she is also disturbing the neighboring class also. That is what the teacher had to tell the mother. So the mother had to find a new school. But the mother never told that Totto-Chan was being expelled from her school. She just told Totto-Chan that they were going to join a new school. So Totto-Chan thought for a moment, joining a new school. Do anyone remember what her reply was to mother about joining the new school? I think I can join the new school, but mother, will there be street musicians? She wanted to know whether the new school, and when she can go and stand by the window, whether she can call out to the street musicians. So that was what she wanted to know about the new school. Fortunately, this new school was totally different from the old school that she had gone. This school had a very different curriculum had a headmaster who thought very differently about his students. So I think since I have written the name of the school here, you might remember, those who have read it will remember the school Tomo Gakuen. Tomo, the school name is Tomo. And here Totto-Chan meets the headmaster, Mr. Kobayashi. But before meeting the headmaster, when they went to the school, what excited her most was the classrooms were very different from that of the old classroom. How's your classrooms at Mullurkara? You have a building? And how many classrooms have you there for the high school, for the higher secondary? Of course, like Totto-Chan's class, right? With windows and doors. I know that you haven't been to school for a long time, but do you remember how many classrooms do you have in first floor or the ground floor at least? It is a conventional type of classroom, right? But here the classroom was very different. They were compartments from a train. See, compartments from a train. So imagine little Totto's excitement when she saw that this was not the usual building, this was not the usual classroom, but there were 6 or 7 compartments repainted and arranged as classrooms. So little Totto had a doubt. See, this is a train. She was excited that this was a classroom also. But are we going to see the headmaster or are we going to see the station master? Reasonable, isn't it? Because if this is a train, we are going to meet the station master. That is what Totto thought. And the first meeting with Mr. Kobayashi master is something that I love in the book. As a teacher, as a mother, I think I am always striving to be like that, Mr. Kobayashi master. So when the mother and Totto went to see Kobayashi master for the first time, this is how the author describes the master. I think I would just read it out just to give you how the author herself has written about the headmaster. His hair was thin on top and he had a few 2 teeth missing, but his face was a healthy color. Although he wasn't very tall, he had solid shoulders and arms and was neatly dressed in a rather shabby black 3-piece suit. With a hasty bow, Totto-Chan asked him spiritedly, "What are you, a schoolmaster or a station master?" Mother was embarrassed, but before she had time to explain, he laughed and replied, "I am the headmaster of this school." Totto-Chan was delighted. "Oh, I'm so glad," she said, "because I want to ask you a favor. I would like to come to your school." The headmaster offered her a chair and turned to mother. "You may go now. You may go home now. I want to talk to Totto-Chan." Totto-Chan had a moment's uneasiness, but somehow felt she would get along all right with this man. "Well then, I will leave her with you," mother said bravely and shut the door behind her as she went out. The headmaster drew over a chair and put it facing Totto-Chan, and when they were both sitting down close together, he said, "Now then, tell me all about yourself. Tell me anything at all you want to talk about." So here was the headmaster of his school asking the 7-year-old little Totto to tell him anything that she wanted. And she began to talk. She loved to talk. She talked about her dog, Rocky, as some of you said that you loved Rocky. She told him about how well her daddy swims. And she talked about almost everything under the sun. It went on and on and on. So Kobayashi master listened to her very carefully, listened to her without seeming bored or as later the grown-up Tetsuko Kuroyanagi notes, he never let out a yawn, but he listened to her carefully, very carefully. And when she ran out of all the topics, she thought, see, I should tell something more because he asked me to tell anything. So she thought about something and finally she told him about the new dress that she wore that day to the school. It was brought in the morning itself. Why? Because all the other dresses, when her mother searched for a dress when she was going to the new school, she found that there was no dress which was not torn because Toto loved to play. So she loved to creep under the fences, jump on the rocks, or jump onto the pools. So one or the other dress, always it was torn. So the mother had to go to the shop, buy a new dress, and this is the new dress that my mother bought for me. And see, there are so many flowers. She shows him the collar of the dress and tells him, but mother doesn't like this. This is a very bad taste. She didn't like the flowers on the collar. So again, she ran out of topics. And it was then that the master very politely asked her, it's time for lunch. Shall we go and have lunch? So little Toto had no awareness of time then. She had no clock or watch with her. But she understood that they have been talking for a long time. The grown-up Tetsuko realized that she came with her mother to the school at 8:30 in the morning. And now it is time for lunch. So imagine for how many hours little Toto has been talking to her headmaster. And the headmaster, the wonder of it is, the headmaster has been listening to her very, very patiently, nodding and listening very carefully. So this was the turning point. The school, Tomo school and Kobayashi master was the turning point in Toto's life. I think I'll just, instead of going on talking about Totto-Chan, I'll just show you a little cartoon where Toto goes to her school. This was her first day with the headmaster, but it was the next day that she went to the school for the first time. So how she felt when she went to the school and went to the classroom, which was actually the compartments of a train. Just tell me whether you can see this or not.
No one had arrived yet. When Totto-Chan got to the door of the railroad car, the headmaster had told her would be her classroom. Totto-Chan's heart was beating fast with excitement as she peeked inside. Oh, studying here would be like going on a perpetual journey. The windows still had baggage racks above them. The only difference was that there was a blackboard at the front of the car, and the lengthwise seats had been replaced by school desks and chairs, all facing forward. The hand straps had gone too, but everything else had been left just as it was. Totto-Chan went in and sat down at someone's desk. The wooden chairs resembled those at the other school, but they were so much more comfortable she could sit on them all day. Totto-Chan was so happy and liked the school so much, she made a firm decision to come to school every day and never take any holidays. Totto-Chan looked out of the window. She knew the train was stationary, but was it because the flowers and trees in the school grounds were swaying slightly in the breeze? It seemed to be moving. I'm so happy, she finally said out loud.
So happy am I. Why am I happy? Because
Just at that moment, someone got on. It was a girl. She took her notebook and pencil box out of her school bag and put them on her desk. Then she stood on tiptoe and put the bag on the rack. She put her shoe bag up there too. Totto-Chan stopped singing and quickly did the same. After that, a boy got on. He stood at the door and threw his bag on the baggage rack as if to play basketball. He bounced off and fell on the floor. Bad shot, said the boy, taking aim again from the same place. This time, it stayed on. Nice shot, he shouted, followed by, no, bad shot. As he scrambled onto the desk and opened his bag to get out his notebook and pencil box. Eventually, there were 9 pupils in the car. They comprised the first grade at Srkgvmhss. They would all be traveling together on the same train. Going to school in a railroad car seemed unusual enough, but the seating arrangements turned out to be unusual too. At the other school, each pupil was assigned a specific desk, but here they were allowed to sit anywhere they liked at any time. After a lot of thought and a good look around, Totto-Chan decided to sit next to the girl who had come after her that one.
who's ready to hatch some cool pets?
So this was an artist visualization of how her first day at school was. How she entered the classroom, and there were only 9 of them in the first grade. But later, if you have read the whole book, you will know what all the 9 of her classmates or all the other 8 grew up to be when they were taught in a school like Tomo. So let me come back to the story again. I know that it's been a long time that you have been to your school, but when you all were at your school, did you love your lunchtime?
Yes.
You were together with your friends. You could share your lunchbox, right? So
Yes,
you were all so very happy when it was lunchtime. But the lunchtime at Tomo was a little bit different from our lunchtime. How is it different? This is how it is different. When the students, when they came to the room and had their lunch, master came to the room and asked them, have you brought something from the ocean and something from the hills? See, in their lunchbox, they should have something from the ocean and something from the hills. So what is this? It was master's way of describing a balanced food, nutritious food. So in addition to rice, every child should bring something from the ocean. It could be fish, something from the hill. It could be in any vegetable, anything from the land could do. So this was how he told them to bring their lunch, or this was how he instructed the parents to give them the lunch. This is something that we should always remember during this pandemic time also, because when we have a meal, it should be a nutritious meal. It should be a balanced meal. This was what Kobayashi master taught them long ago. So Toto was very excited during the lunch hours. Toto was always very excited, but she was always more excited during the lunchtime because she wanted to know what the others have also brought. What was it that they brought from the ocean? What was it that brought from the hills? So this was how the lunchtime in Tomo was. And after the lunchtime, if they had done their classwork well, they were permitted to go for a walk with their teacher. Will you love that? Going for a walk with your teacher?
Yes. Very good.
Going outside the school?
Yes.
Definitely. Yes. Toto also loved that. But always there was this, that they have to finish the work that teacher had given them. So they will go out of the class, out of the school, and there was a stream nearby. And near the stream, there were a lot of cherry trees. I don't know whether you have watched any picture of the cherry tree. The one distinct feature of the cherry tree is that when it blossoms, there will be no leaf at all. It will be so full of flowers that it is a visual treat. So when they went out for the walk, there were cherry trees, blossomed cherry trees, and there were fields. So they were walking by the side of the stream. They could always chat with each other. One of the Totto-Chan's friends informs her that they had seen a snake when they went out for a walk last day. So this was something that every maybe student should be familiar with. Like you said, you all told me that you love to walk. You love to walk out of the school, walk out into nature. So this is something you can always experiment. If and when, of course, we'll come back to our school one day when this pandemic is over. When you come back to school, ask your teacher to take out for a walk once in a while. But ask that only after you have completed your classwork. Then you will definitely enjoy that walk, just like Totto-Chan and her teachers. So lunchtime was totally different in Tomo. The walk after the class, and then there was always the swimming lessons. Kobayashi master wanted them to be very skilled also. So after lunch, it was always after lunch that this was conducted. They could bring their swimsuits, and swimsuits was not at all necessary. They just wanted to bathe in their birthday suits without any cloth on. They were most welcome for that also. This was something that Kobayashi master might have done intentionally. Totto-Chan realized this only when she was a grown-up, because there were students who were disabled. So they were very shy about their own body. But once, when they come into this, then when they feel like this is fun, no one is going to make fun of what you are or what your body is. They become a part of the whole team. So this was something that, this was a teacher with a vision. So swimming lessons was another added attraction or fun, as Totto-Chan terms it in Tomo. The swimming lessons, the walk after the class, and then they go for camping also. Camping. And where did they go for the camp? When we hear camping, we have pictures of hills or somewhere that is maybe near the stream or something like that. But do anyone of you remember what sort of a camp they made? Since it was in night, master took them all to a large hall. They all he taught them how to make camps, draw the strings, pull the clothes, and there will be only one door to the camp that was there. They were made into teams of 6 or 5, and each one was assigned a particular place in the hall. We will think that the students will be disappointed that they couldn't go outside. But no, the fact was that they were all very excited because they were staying at the school during night. They were not at home. They were at school and their friends were with them. So this was a totally different school, Tomo. Anything else that I should share? This is just some of the incidents that I love to recall whenever I think of Totto-Chan. Just let me check. Yes, one thing more, the song in Totto-Chan. See, when it was lunchtime, they were all asked to sing a song. And this was how, their master was also a musician. So he made this song. It was sung in the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I think you might be familiar with that nursery rhyme. So this was what they should all sing. Chew, chew, chew it well. Everything you eat, chew it and chew it and chew it and chew it. Your rice and fish and meat. So singing a song before the lunch, and this always reminds you to, and Tetsuko recalls that this was something that we should always remember when we have our meals. You should chew it well. They have been practicing this for so long in their school that they always were stuck to this. They know that when they had their food, they should chew it well. So this is something that I would like to tell you. And this, I told you, the school walks that the teacher and the students went for. And there are many other characters. If you go through the book, you will love each one of them. So as I think one of you have said, Rocky, you loved Rocky. Toto's pet dog. There is another character that you might love. That is Yasuaki-chan. Yasuaki-chan is Toto's best friend, and he had polio, so his legs were very different. Toto, out of her innocence, asks, "What happened to you? Why are you walking like this?" So Yasuaki-chan tells her that, as a matter of fact, that I had polio, so that is why I cannot walk like you. And there is one incident which is very touching. When I read the book for the first time, all these students have a tree of their own in the school campus. That is, they say that this is my tree, and each one of them decides that the next is going to be my tree. So everyone climbs to that tree, plays in the when they have a break, climbs the tree and plays under the tree and so on like that. But Yasuaki-chan, since he was not like other children, he couldn't climb the tree. And there is one incident in Totto-Chan where she helps Yasuaki-chan to climb the tree. Yasuaki-chan is terrified. He's sure that he won't be able to climb that tree. But Totto-chan, with her usual spirit, helps him. And she's a little girl still. She somehow drags him over the branch. And for the first time in his life, Yasuaki-chan could watch the nature from the branch of a tree. How excited he was. You can imagine that. This is also something that we should always remember. There will be many friends in our class who will be differently abled, but we can lend a hand to them. We can show them how different the views can be when you have a hand to lend. So this is a beautiful part of the book that I love most. And the most severe lesson in life also comes in the form of death of Yasuaki-chan towards the end of the book. Another classmate of Toto is Miyazaki. Miyazaki was born and brought up in America. However hard he tried, he couldn't learn Japanese. This was written during the time of Second World War. So English was considered as the enemy's language. But you know, Kobayashi master, what he did? He told the students to learn English. Since Miyazaki couldn't, or he found difficult to learn Japanese, you can learn English. So for him, this was not a matter of nationality, but this was something that you can, an opportunity to learn another language. And there was another friend of Toto, another classmate, Mio-chan, who is very mature, not like Toto-chan at all. So Toto-chan is sort of, whenever she is confused about something, she goes to Mio-chan for her advice. So there are a lot of other characters and lots of incidents that you will definitely love if you go through the book. And let me tell you, this is one of the book that has been translated into many other languages. See, this is a line that I love most in Totto-Chan. Whenever Totto-Chan passes by the room of headmaster, he tells her, "You are really a good girl. You're really a good girl, you know." That is what the headmaster used to say every time he saw Totto-Chan. And every time he said it, Totto-Chan would give a smile, give a little skip, and say, "Yes, I'm a good girl." And she believed it. See, this is something that I want to tell you all. Whatever the world tells you, you are all very good boys and very good girls. So don't believe what the others say. Believe that you are a very good girl, you are a very good boy. This is what Kobayashi Master taught them all. If I am asked to give you something that I liked the most in this book, it is these lines that I like the most in this book. Maybe that's why if I am asked which is one of my favorite books or the 5 most favorite books, definitely Totto-Chan will be there. And that's because maybe as I told you earlier, I'm a teacher and I'm a mother. That's why I think I love this book, and I think I always strive to be like this, but this is not easy, I know. But from your point of view, that is you little ones over there, you will love this. You will love this school. You will love this class. You will love the way everything is taught there in the school. So this is just a peep into what Totto-Chan is. And since I have told you so much about Totto-Chan, that was about little Toto. Let me also tell you what happened to Totto-Chan when she grew up. Can anyone tell me what she is now? And yes, right, this month is her birthday month, August, right? 9th August 1933. She was born on 9th August 1933. She's 88 years now, old now. Can you tell me what she is now? Of course, we all know that she's an author. Totto-Chan is a bestseller. Anything else about her? Anything else about Totto-Chan? Tetsuko Kuroyanagi is a real name. Toto is a pet name. Yes, this is Tetsuko Kuroyanagi, as you all know. She's an author, television personality. She has been awarded the most popular television personality in Japan. She's also an actress. She's also UNICEF's Goodwill Ambassador. And some of the other books that she has written is, I'm just mentioning it, Panda and I. She loves nature conservation. So one of the books is Panda and I. And another one is Totto-Chan's Children, a goodwill journey to the children of see this. Yes. So this was what the little Toto, who was expelled from first grade in her first school, later became. She is a most popular author. And I think I have listed out some of the languages to which Totto-Chan was translated. No other book, I think, is honored with so many translations, that is into so many other languages. As I told you earlier, Totto-Chan was published in 1981. It is an autobiographical memoir. You can skip all those terms. It just means that when one tells a life of one's own, it is an autobiography. And when it is all about the memories they had, you can call it a memoir also in the simplest terms. So this was an instant bestseller in Japan. And as I told you earlier, this was translated to English by Dorothy Britton. That was in 1984, but it was translated into a number of other languages. And in Malayalam, this was translated by our dear poet and lyricist Anwar Ali. This was first published by Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishath and later by National Book Trust. The English version is available in Amazon, and I think there are many versions. Malayalam version is available in our Madhubhumi bookstall, and there are many abridged versions also of Totto-Chan. So once you go through the Malayalam, I think you will find the, when you read it in your mother tongue first, you'll get a feel of it. That's how I felt, because my reading began in Malayalam first. And it was because of that I was courageous enough to put my hands on the English books also when I went to the college. So if you feel like reading it, I think your teachers will help you. There will be a copy of Totto-Chan in your library. And since you can't come to school now, maybe you can order it in Amazon, or if you go out with your parents, you can get it from the Madhubhumi or the DC Books in Thrissur also. I think I'll wind up now, because there are a lot of other things that you might love in Totto-Chan. But what I want to tell you is that read it by yourself. You'll definitely enjoy the book, because this is a story of each and every one of you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, teacher. That was an amazing presentation. You made us all so excited for the whole time.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes, from your words, we could easily understand how did the Kobayashi master and the new school can make a change in Totto-Chan. Actually, we had a feeling of reading that book. Thank you, teacher. Okay.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the story, and I have read this story before, and I also enjoyed it. And I thank my teachers for giving this opportunity for us to know about this story more and more.
I can understand that I didn't hear the first part, but I can understand that I have another one who loves Totto-Chan as much as I love it.
The story was a good narration.
Thank you. Vaidhav, right?
Yes, ma'am. Can you suggest another books like this?
Of course, I can give you a long list. If you really want to read about mischievous ones, go for the Adventures of Tom Sawyer. There will be another boy that you will like most. The boy who has stomach aches when it is Monday morning. So the Adventures of Tom Sawyer and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is something that I would like to suggest if you love Totto-Chan.
I go Bixman.
Yes, Gopi Krishnan.
I like the narration of the story. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Gopi Krishnan.
Teacher,
Yes.
yes, I answered the teacher. It was a wonderful narration. You narrated in such a way that every child would like to read the story.
Thank you.
And we were eagerly waiting for you this session. And unfortunately, it was postponed. And now we got a chance. And how wonderfully you performed. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I saw the comment now itself. Srkgvmhss, that is a wonderful chapter. I know, visiting the soldiers. And I forgot to tell you that Tomo was, when Tokyo was bombed in 1945, this school, Tomo school, was also, it perished. It was down to ashes. So Tomo is no more. That was during Second World War. This school was established by Kobayashi master in 1937, but it was in 1945 that Tokyo was bombed. And sadly, this beautiful school is no more. And of course, it's a very, each and every child will remember if they have read the story, the visit to the soldiers.
Yes, Saumya, actually, my partner Rishmi is, we are both watching. She would like to talk actually. She is working as a professor in a psychiatric nurse in Saudi Arabia. So she would like to talk to you.
Actually, it was a wonderful experience. Thank you. This book, I read it when I was in 8th grade, and I still remember reading it. And I'm presently working with an association, and I'm in charge of the children's section. We conducted Vayana Malsaram, where kids were given this book and they had like an exam over this book, and they really enjoyed reading the book and discussing the book. So whenever Totto-Chan is being discussed, it's always a pleasure to be a part of it. So thank you very much. I think this book has to be read more, discussed more, so that both parents, teachers, as well as children realize how good childhood can be, how education can really mold up people, how they can grow up knowing what is happening, how to be humane, how to be acceptable, how to be more open. So thank you very much for the effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishmi. Thank you so much, Rekhu. Thank you.
Yes.
I know that Rishmi is a good reader. So it's an honor that she realized or such comments from you. A big thank you, Rishmi.
Okay, my name is Sansara, and I would like to say that I enjoyed this session very much.
Hello, Ansara. Thank you.
Yes, I've read Totto-Chan before, and I've read it again today, and I really love the book. It's one of my favorite books. And sometimes I wish that I could go to a school like Totto-Chan's as well. Yes. It is my dream. Yes, and I would like to say I really enjoyed this session. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ansara. See, that was a great message. We will at least try to convert what our present school is to a school like Tomo, and we'll try to be like Kobayashi Master.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We to expect not exactly a school like Totto-Chan's, but still many things in our school syllabus too, so that the students can exploit their energy, their observation, and of course make them closer to nature, something like that. Okay, we expect certain things like that, but
yes.
I don't know. Anyway, this is a book, and the students have taken it in the full spirit, and hats off to you for that, Saumya.
Thank you, Brinda dear.
Okay, teacher. So Totto-Chan teaches us everything under the sun. So I am so excited and happy. Okay, thank you very much. A pleasant afternoon. Thank you once again.
See, let me thank you all once again because this was something that I really enjoyed most, talking about books and talking about Totto-Chan.
Okay, Saumya teacher.
Thank
you. Time to conclude our program. So I invite Adi Krishna KB, Adi Krishna of 7th B to say the word of thanks.
Good evening all. We are very much grateful to Saumya teacher who has enlightened us with her talk on the story of Totto-Chan. I extend my sincere thanks to Saumya teacher for giving us very valuable details of the story. I also thank all students and teachers who are present here to make this program a grand success. Thank you.